So what we're working with is Lego control issues. Now the headspace for both of you guys says a lot. All right, if this is you, definitely happy with what you're doing. But this is the thing, right? Like I was just saying before, and I was just channeling the energy. This is the literal, seeing the success, seeing the reward. You're being recognized for the effort that you've been putting in, right? And I feel like right now you have been doing the best that you can. This is pretty much, the card that will come up if you were doing the best that you could, and you have been. So there's not much you can do over here. Now, on the other hand, this person is definitely overextending themselves, definitely tired, definitely, burdened with a ton of tasks. Justice is your underlying energy, though. And it could be that things. Oh, geez, sorry. Okay, that's weird. My phone just like fell. But anyway, justice is in your underlying energy. I don't think this. I think it's to kind of get things straightened out. I definitely see that there's some sort of, obviously interaction between you two, or if this is you two together, or if this is you two separate. Something definitely went down, and I feel like this is because some things needed to be adjusted, some things needed to be straightened out. Okay, um, and justice talks about right and the wrongs, or balancing the scales, right? Because there's no right and wrong. There are consequences to our actions, and therefore we have to take accountability for those things. And with Two of Pentacles, okay, I don't know if somebody was juggling two people. And typically, I don't see the Two of Pentacles like that. I just see somebody that's trying to make a decision, trying to keep the balance of the situation instead of actually, delving in deep to their emotions to figure out which of those options really have value, really speak to any, to either of, to either of their, passions or desires. And I feel like justice is like, let's straighten this mess out. Let's straighten it out. So your headspace is definitely saying, yeah, I've been doing the work. I've been putting the effort in. I've been pushing myself. And this is also something that tells me that you guys are very proud of the work that you've been putting in, proud of everything that you've been achieving in your workplace. However, this individual here is being, they've just completed a cycle for sure, both sides, and it's really, really burdensome. And at the same time, I think they have kind of, they've definitely hit a really rough patch, y'all. They had a really rough patch, and the Ten of Pentacles usually talks about, like I said, the completion of a cycle. It's, think about it, it's one, right, the Ace, but with 10 on top of that, right? So with the boundaries, like there's something that they've achieved from this as well. But I believe that there's just so much that they've accomplished that they kind of can't. It's almost like they kind of can't keep up with it, in a way. But again, this is still a burden. And I feel like this person here is trying to do everything on their own. They have been, or they feel like they've been on their own for the majority of this journey. And I feel like there is a piece of them that have been doing stuff all alone. And that's like coming to an end here with that Ten of Swords. They come out looking like, they just been kicked down and beat down. And I think they might have as well. I think things have just really hit the fan here. But you're coming out strong, fearless, and stuff. But again, when you come up as the Queen of Swords, I get a little concerned. All right, because you're not a sword, you're cups. So I don't really know how I feel about this Queen of Swords, to be honest with you. I do feel like if your headspace is in a good place, then I feel like, yeah, you're not gonna really want to tolerate any BS. But I feel like you may have cut this individual off just by how things are looking here. Like, I think you may have laid it out straight. Like, hey, I can't deal with this anymore. You better come at me with some real stuff. That put them in a position of like a devastating situation. I think they may have had to realize that the way that they've been acting is a bit crazy. I'm going to go ahead and pull clarify for that to see why they had the Ten of Swords. What happened? Okay. Because they have gotten, right now they're dead in the dirt right now. Something devastating happened. It's because they're too prideful. You know where they're coming from. You see that? They're in their way. I think this is maybe a Leo. All right, it can be a Leo, or it could be an Aries edge. It doesn't have to be the fire tribe at all. But the situation is that this person has too much pride, and their pride definitely backfired to them, but backfired in their face. Okay, that's kind of what happened. But let me see why the Ten of Swords happened. What happened? If I could get the shuffling part down. Okay, the sun. Oh geez, so definitely something came to light, some exposure. What got exposed? That's what I want to know. And guys, as the further I go into clarifying a lot of these, the more this probably won't resonate with a lot of people. The lovers. Oh no. I think they just realized that their connection, the connection that they've got. What about the connection? One more. What about the connection? The Queen of Cups. Oh snap! That's you guys. Now, guys, when the queens and kings come up, I don't mean as a male or female, but it does let me know of it does let me know the type of energy each of you guys are giving off. Now, the person is starting from scratch with you. That's what it looks like. It looks like they're starting from absolute scratch, and they may have had some sort of like really rough ending. They may have maybe they've just finished a divorce or broke up with somebody, or um or there's just some things that have happened where there was definitely a call to take responsibility or take accountability. Because here right now, the reason why this person's down in the dirt right now is because one, exposure, the realization, things coming to light, you know, things being seen from all sides. There's nothing being blocked here. The sun illuminates all, even the shadows. We're no longer in the moon period. This is where you have clarity, and this is where potential happiness can start. Why? Because you know the path to take. And I feel like this path to take, it has to do with the soulmate connection between you and this person, between obviously you, right? This is the love that they feel. This is the profound connection that they just can't deny, okay? And I feel like that Ten of Swords is definitely, I think the reason why they're down in the dirt is because their pride kind of probably got away from him a little bit. It could be because the the King of Wands. That, or this whole thing is about confidence, for them. They have to come out of their shell and be more confident in themselves. But how you are, right? I feel like the reason why you have the Queen of Swords here is because you have, you've had to, maintain your own, do your best, do your thing. You've been, putting the effort out there and really working hard for your achievements. And now with that Nine of Wands coming up is because you never gave up. You're determined. Your willingness to be successful, your willingness to be happy. And the fact of the matter is too, you're coming from a place of the protection as well. The Queen of Swords, when she comes up, this is someone that's protecting themselves. So although you being recognized for all that, I don't think you like being that noticed, and I don't know if you necessarily trust being in a relationship with somebody like this. Not because they have showing that they're untrustworthy, because they're not. They're really not. But it's the protective mechanism. It's that there's something new that's being offered to you, and you don't really want to give up your independence. You show that you're independent, you're successful, you got things on your own. Sure, it's great to have admirers, but at the same time, to be noticed like that, that's not the Queen of Swords style. It's more of the Queen of Wands style. But the Queen of Swords style, she's more of like she's not like she's very humble. She don't care, and I think that's the thing. Like, you don't care about the publicity necessarily, unless you're like an author or a writer, because that's what the Queen of Swords could be, right? That makes sense, right? It's cool to have followers. It's cool to get a following or be a part of a community. But the thing is that you're not looking to be chased. You're not looking to be, or some of you guys may not be. Some of y'all may be looking for that, right? But their sword is up and your defenses are up. Where you're coming from is the Nine of Wands. You may not have given up on any of your dreams, but you definitely put a wall, up for something else. And that this Queen of Swords is definitely looking at that Ten of Swords person like, yeah, you may realize all you want to, but I don't know. Now, the Queen of Swords is not all the way like denial, right? She doesn't just cut people off or deny people. She'll listen to and hear someone's story out. She'll hear them out first before she makes her decision whether what to do about the other person's offer. But it's just like, you're going into this with a headspace. You're going into this with your thoughts and your mind and your thinking, and not really how you're feeling. Because this person sees you as the Queen of Cups. Not that you're not, but you're just very protective right now. You're on, you're just on defense mode right now. Whether that is to protect what you've created, protect the relationship that you created with this individual already, or what have you, right? Or just pretty much protect yourself. That's what I see. Now, and usually the Queen of Swords does come up because she's protecting that Queen of Cups portion of herself, right? Because she doesn't let her emotions in. She just protects her emotions with her mind, and with her logic and the way she, her thinking process. And I think that's what's going on. There's a big protective barrier here, while this person is just busted out and exposed. And it is looking like they have a lot of stuff on their plate, and you kind of balance them with that nurturing and that caring, supportive energy that Queen of Cups can provide, while the King of Wands is still trying to make, try to make it, try to push through it. He's ruthless. He's not going to stop at nothing. And that could be his little control issue there in itself. Even though he hit the bottom of the bottom, he's still got, like, that doesn't mean anything. It's like, okay, that just means I got a fresh start, So, what brings you two together is the Hangman, y'all. I'm going to show you the Hangman. What brings you two together is the Hangman. To see something from a different perspective. The pause, the period of stagnancy that you guys have, hit is a significant one, because there's a perspective that you need to see differently. There's something that you may need to adapt or adopt, a new mindset, a new way of thinking. And this is the kind of thing here, right? I feel like this person on this side is open and fresh and ready to go to start something new when they drop this pride, though. Like, there's nothing wrong with pride. There's nothing wrong with feeling like, just feeling that, feeling proud of yourself, or feeling like, responsible in a certain way. But it could get too much at sometimes. It could get too much. And if it's not pride for this individual here, it has to do with just, going with what their passions are, not stopping at anything for that. And there's nothing wrong with that either. But the thing is that you guys have let go of control issues. Okay, and you have the Page of Pentacles. That's the thing that you guys are both, the challenge that you both are facing. The Page of Pentacles talks about, an offer of new love, and that's not of new love, but an offer of great value, an offer of something that can be long term, that can last a long time, And I feel like also that kind of is like talking about, hearing things out thoroughly, being, getting your information. You know what I'm saying? I think there's a new opportunity between you both that could start, but the Hangman is about seeing that possibility from a different perspective. Because how you guys are coming at it is very, like, this person definitely had to hit some really big devastation to come to their realization. Well, you are very defensive still. And it's because you can control every part of your life. And when it comes to being in a relationship or furthering that to any sort of extent, like, I feel like I think you guys are together now, but there's something about, like, I think there's just like moving forward, making it more official. That's the part that kind of is like, I don't know about this. This is the call for commitment with that Page of Pentacles. Even though it's a small commitment, I know it can lead to something really big. And I think y'all are aware of that. Okay, let's see what you guys get with your whispers of love. Oh, I think it says receive and love. Sorry, receive with love and appreciation. Receiving something lovingly from others is a way of showing love. Okay, then. Justice is about balance. That means karma. That means give and take. That means law of attraction. Well, not necessarily law of attraction, but definitely give and take. And if I feel like there's an offering somewhere. This Page of Pentacles is the offering itself, right? And I feel like everybody is just like, I do feel like this person is more open to it, more open to this new beginning because of what they've gone through. This, pretty much reset button thing. Like they started from the very beginning. But they are going through some period of recovery too. That Ten of Swords is going to definitely require them to recover. That's a very devastating and painful ending to even encounter. So that person's definitely going to have to go through that. And I feel like for you, it's like you got a little boundary system up. You got a little fortress now, and it's like you don't necessarily know if you can trust. Not that you can't trust completely, but you just don't know if you could trust this offer to be more than that. And I feel like this person definitely has the intention in the right place. They're coming from a place of pure passion. They know what they want. There's no doubt. The King of Wands wouldn't act if he didn't know what he wanted. And I feel like it's like receiving love. That's like, it's talking about, pretty much allowing yourself to take things too, not just give things, not just do things. And I think that's why this person's got the Ten of Wands here and the Ten of Swords. I think they realize that that they're doing a lot for other people. They're doing a lot, and they're not really, and the only place that they feel that they get something from is you, like, and love, pure love. Because you see the Lovers and the Queen of Cups. That's pure love. And I think you come at them with unconditional love. But the thing is, you can come at them with unconditional love. But the thing is, it's just like you're protecting something at the moment. It's very similar to say for you to love, but, you don't gotta, the political control issues. Like, I think it's not necessarily talking about, hey, you're being super controlling of your life. Stop. It's more of like, I feel like it's actually saying it's okay to be. It's okay to accept. It's okay to allow things to come in. Okay? It's okay to accept something that you may actually want. It's okay to give it a chance.